Join your commentary team, the impartial vice-captain of Team Europe, Karl Boys, is alongside the wonderful Phil Yates.
Andy, thank you very much. So often in Mosconi Cup history,
Team Europe
Shane van Boening has been a linchpin for the USA. He's in a linchpin role here. Let me tell you, if Ouschan can win this, a 4-1 lead overnight for Europe, that would make my co-commentator Karl Boys sleep soundly.
Phil, I have not slept finally for about 6 months. What a crazy start to this year's Cup. Unbelievable. We have had everything and we're only 4 points in.
Well, we had that fluke I've never seen before, the one that Joshua Filler had in the team match. We had the failure to call the push out. We had the shirt of Eklent Kaci touching a ball that turned the opening contest. Everything's happened. It's been, as you say, so unpredictable and compelling viewing.
Yeah, and it's only day one.
Foul shot. Ball in hand.
Well, as you see, not the best of breakoffs from Albin, and
start the clock, please.
The cue ball has found the pocket, but luckily the one ball has jammed up, so there's going to be some kind of safety shot from SVB. Seems everybody's struggling with the break shot so far on day one. It's usually the case in pro events.
Break-in runouts have been in very short supply.
Go on, hit me with some stats, Phil. I know you love a stat.
Well, can't tell you precisely how many, but there's been very few. Is that good enough?
You're slacking, Phil. You're slacking.
So what's the mood like in the European team?
It's been fantastic. We've had a lot of fun. We've brought a different dynamic to the team this year, and it's all been nice and relaxed. And of course, when the guys have been practicing at the table, we've expected nothing but 110%. But I must say, watching from the sidelines, it's not easy. So that's all Shane could really do. I think he was trying to take the side rail out somehow, but I mean, it wasn't easy. So it's a pretty simple kick shot for Albin. Big point this for USA, needless to say. Nice speed there from Albin.
Just before we get into this rack in the match, I must ask you about the press conference yesterday. It seemed to me quite edgy. Is that genuine?
Oh yes, it was fireworks for sure. I don't think Joey Exotic is too happy I have took his tiger. Same again here from Shane. The hit on the cue on the one ball was easy, and he played that quite hard to leave the distance, so that was a clever shot there from Shane.
And the leading question all pool fans will want to know, this rivalry between Jayson Shaw and Shane van Boening, that seems to be quite bitter.
Yeah, and to be honest, Phil, I don't know what's going on. It's all very hush-hush. No one's telling me anything. Yeah, that was a nice shot to hold the one ball there on the top rail and get the distance. So a good safety shot there from Albin. Of course, I'm not going to be biased in this match, Phil.
Well, I think you're allowed to be.
You thought you'd got rid of me, hadn't you, pal?
By the way, the first match tomorrow is the fans' choice match. Now you can vote on who you want to see in that contest until just before play begins at 6:30 tomorrow night. Just go to matchroompool.com, make your choice, and as I said earlier, I would not be surprised if the pool fans on either side of the Atlantic, if they wanted to just spice it up by getting Van Boening against Shaw, but we will see.
Have you put your vote in, mate?
Don't know whether I'm allowed, but if I did get a vote, it would be for that one, definitely.
You're allowed, Phil. 100%. You can stick your vote in. I mean, of course, you know, it's 3-1 to Europe, and you just sense the urgency from Shane here. It's a massive point, this, especially the way the very first team point went. It was crazy, and it's just been probably the craziest start I've ever seen in a Mosconi Cup.
And let's not forget the third match of the evening, when Chris Robinson just had that surge of adrenaline, out of position on the 8 ball, consequently missed a length of the table double on the 9, and that made an enormous difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy done, to be fair. You know, he played a really, really solid match, did Chris, and you know, it's not nice to see, regardless if you're vice captain or not, you know, a guy just, you know, over at the shot, and you know, it was heartache, it really was. So Albin's slightly under at this, so you know, he needs to be careful here. So much so he's played safe, looking to put the cue ball in behind the 8, which he hasn't done.
And on that subject, I think the other story of the evening has been the speed of this table. Lightning.
Yeah, I mean, every single year we know the Mosconi Cup table is very slick and very fast, but no one's really settled this year. You know, it's unusual settings, there's no crowd, it's, you know, myself and Alex, we're not really sure how to act out there. We don't really want to be dancing around and high-fiving. It's just unusual. So, you know, at the end of the day, I think after day one, regardless of the scoreline, I expect better pool tomorrow, and you know, there'll be no excuses. The guys have had a feel of the arena and the fact that there's no seating and fans. And then you see Eklent, he was involved in a unbelievable match. Yeah, good pop there from Albin. Needs a nice angle here though, just because of where the 7 ball is. Yeah, looks like he's looking at the bank, so that tells a story. So the bank shot is, and I think he needs to get the cue ball round for the 8. I don't think he can hold the cue ball. And he stunned the cue ball into the 8 and just nudged it nearer that pocket. It's a fantastic shot.
It was a really classy effort, this. He's always been a good banker of a ball, but with position attached, made it all more noteworthy.
And we're seeing trick shots now from Albin. Steady on, son.
Well, that's the shot that Mark Williams has patented in snooker. Mosconi Cup, though. Ooh, against Shane Van Boening. You're taking a risk there. But the risk paid off. Albin Ouschan.
Yeah, it is, as you said, you know, 4-1, it just gives you that little bit of breathing space. Obviously it's only 4-1, it's raised to 11, but just means when you're coming out for your matches, you kind of like just the heat comes off you, and there you see, as we've said about the break shot, no one's figured this break out yet, and SVB is regarded as the best breaker in the world of pool, and he elected to go down the middle with pace, and you know, nothing's gone in. Seen it a few times. One of the balls is jamming up against the other, and there's the green 6. Kind of like it when it's like this though, Phil. You know, you get to see the brain of the, you know, the pool player, and the safety aspect and all the things that make pool great. You see another missed pot. There's been a lot of missed pots today. That is purely down to the fact that nobody's hit like their A game yet. I would say out of both teams, Jayson's the one that's settled in fairly quickly. I mean, he's missed this by a long way, but what he has done is just nudged the green 6 out, so it's kind of opened up a little bit, because at some point there could be a combo there, but he's been a little bit fortunate with the leave as well.
I know you're in a position of responsibility, Karl, so maybe you'll hold back on this, but in my opinion, this has been one of the lowest standard sessions in terms of missed pots I've ever seen in the Mosconi Cup.
Lovely shot there from SVB. That was intended. You could see him lining that up. Great shot maker. Yeah, as you were saying there, Phil, you know, the standards, you know, whether you're vice captain or you sat on your sofa at home, it started off pretty poor, but, you know, I'm just putting that down to the pure fact of, you know, the arena, and the fact that there's no fans, and you know, we're sat on one side of the arena and Team USA on the other, and we're all a bit like, well, do we shout, do we cheer, do we just sit here and be quiet?
Well, after the 3 ball is deposited, it's going to be more imagination required from Shane van Boening. Not the easiest of tables to run out, but you wouldn't put anything past him.
Yeah, I mean, all he's got to do is make sure he gets good on the purple 5. Just a nice angle, because, as I said before, when Albin missed the 1 ball, he just flicked the 9, which moved the green 6 into this chance of an easy combo.
Yeah, it's all about the shot. If he drops in behind the 6, it's lights out.
And that's perfect. One thing you will get from Shane is a lot of heart and a lot of will to win. He knows how big this point is for his team.
USA equalise.
1 record each.
Getting back into the swing of things, even for world-class competitors, is not easy after an extended layoff.
Yeah, you're right, Phil. And not only that, it's, you know, it's the sheer fact of the way the guys at Matchroom build this event up with the press conference and, you know, all the media work we've got to do now leading up to the event. It just adds that extra little spice to the event. So he's made a ball, but he's hooked on the blue 2, so he will be pushing out.
We've seen a preponderance of dry breaks. Quite often, when the 1 ball has gone in, something like this has occurred where the 2 does not play ball.
Push out called.
So for any newbies watching at home, after the break shot you can always elect to play a push, but you must remember your opponent can put you back in. There's the steely face of Shane Van Boening, 5-time US Open champion Phil. 5 US Opens in 10 years, that is some achievement.
It's always been an absolutely phenomenal event, the US Open, but now that Matchroom Sport have taken over its running and its promotion, in years to come it will become
Start the clock, please.
immense.
So he's had a look at the 2, but that looked very tight past the 9. I think Albin's going to play thin off the edge of it and just try and get the 2 near the bottom rail, kind of where that diamond is just below the 9.
Foul shot.
Or
Ball
he's
in
going
net.
to hit it thick and scratch. Mistake there from Albin.
Start the clock, please.
That was a complete misjudgment.
So much so, it went into the pocket, the cue ball, without touching the sides.
Yeah, Shane's got a little bit of work to do here because the red 3,
Extension
you know,
call.
it doesn't go in a clear pocket. Now, he can play the 3 onto the 5, but you'd want to be close to that. So he's just looking around at coming up where he's just kind of put his cue. Yeah, which, looking at the overhead camera, the red 3 will go in the right centre pocket. So pace is key, and line. And line is going near the 6. The line was key, and he has been very fortunate there. That's just the fact that the table is brand new and the slide off the rail has not come up as square as he would have liked.
It was the 6-9 combination in the previous rack. This just looks like a routine run-out.
Having seen Shane played in many Mosconis and many tournaments and played him many times, he's the type of player where when he relaxes and gets that little lead, he's such a great front runner. But if he can keep the heat on, especially in the Mosconi, we have seen him make mistakes, and Albin will know this. Where's the cue ball? Phil, where is the cue ball? I think he's full ball hooked here. Can he see an edge? It was that shot where, you know, when he had ball in hand and just puts that bit of doubt in your mind. That is a real poor shot there from Shane. Can he see an edge of this ball? I think he can, so he's playing the pot. And he's missed it. More mistakes, Phil, and more drama in the 2020 Mosconi Cup.
He seemed to have quite a fierce bounce, I thought, off the second cushion there, and that really scuppered him. What a let-off for Ouschan.
Yeah, and you know, this is over the pocket. This can always be a little funky shot, this, just where the cue ball bounces off. You see it there, just slide across, and he's landed on the 50-yard line, the worst place you could land.
Extension call, please.
So this rack is not over yet.
The importance of the shot underlined by the fact that Ouschan is taking advantage of his 30-second extension. 30-second shot clock, every single rack. Both players or both doubles teams have the option to take 1 30-second breather, as it were.
Yeah, and you just, you know, the way this first day has gone, you kind of don't fancy this. But the champion, Albin, he pots it, but he's not really played the cue ball with conviction. So he's left himself a tricky 9-ball. This is thin, very thin.
And would you believe he overcuts it, leaving the most simple 9-ball imaginable. Well, the pendulum tonight has been so busy. It swung one way and then the other.
I mean, let's be honest, Phil, this match was never going to go plain sailing, was it, at this point? And there we see another dry break. And this is kind of what you want from you know, when you're playing pool, whether it's in the Mosconi or, you know, in a regular singles event. When you make a mistake, there's actually nothing better than coming to the table with an opportunity like this. It just gives you a chance to, you know, kind of get your head back in the game and shake off them little nerves.
Well, normally he would clear up here blindfolded, but this session and the Mosconi Cup in general is not normal.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pressure out there, Phil, at the end of the day, and you know, we've seen a fair few mistakes today, so it's not going to get any easier. Clever shot there, using the draw spin on the cue ball there to make both balls, so he didn't have to play a funky shot from the 2 to the 4.
Extension, please.
Can't quite see if the green 6 passes the 9 ball. I mean, the 9, you know, is near the pocket, but it's not the easiest of combos. Is he going to try and move the 6? I think that's what he tried, you know. Tried to play into it, knowing that the 5's over the top right pocket.
Well, the 6-9 combination that Van Boening parlayed into winning the second rack was pretty straightforward. Bread and butter. This 6-9, it would require a lot more accuracy.
There you see Albin look away. He was playing for the combo, but I just sense that it's not a bad thing that he's not got on the combo. He's actually come quite nice on the bank shot. Well, he's looking at the combo. You could just see where he pointed his cue stick. He's trying to get the cue ball up near towards the 8 ball. I mean, the bank is not a bad option, but he's playing the combo. And he's made the combo. Great shot. And just in case, the cue ball was near the 8. Great shot from Albin there.
Wasn't it just? And again, I'll use the word pendulum. It swung once more.
Thank you, the 5th break. Europe to break. 2 each.
And he's also got lots of experience now, 30 years of age, from Klagenfurt in Austria. And the Mosconi Cup MVP 4 years ago.
Now let's have a look at this break. No one's figured the break shot out yet. The one ball's going close and the one ball's gone in. And he has a shot at the two. The three ball is over on the left side of the table.
Tell you what, the European captain Alex Lely, who we've done many hours of commentary together with, he's living every single ball. The expressions on his face all night have been sometimes pained, sometimes joyous.
I know the feeling. Now this is a great chance, this. It is a great chance. All the balls are there. Just, you know, keep yourself cool. Believe in your cue action. You know, Phil, when the balls are sitting like this, they're all open and it's a case of just controlling that cue ball. These are the type of racks, you know, you've got to knock in. Yeah, and I think he wasn't quite happy with the way he cued that one. It went in a little bit fat, but you know, the table's brand new and we always kind of say aim towards that side of the pocket because you know it's going to slide in. Got into the cue ball there. He wanted to be another 2 or 3 balls over to make this sort of shot straight shot, so he weren't cannoning into the 8 ball. And he's caused a mistake, Albin.
Let's not beat about the bush. That was a bad shot.
Yeah, it was just purely down to the fact of he didn't get straight on the 6. If he was straight on the 6 there, he could play a stop shot. And it meant he just had to kill it. I mean, don't get me wrong, at this level, you know, it's a hanger, but
extension called.
You just know they're struggling. They really are. One thing's for certain, Phil. We'll be glad to see the back of day one. Well, this is a massive kick shot now for USA. He's got to draw this to change the angle. He's going to like curve it under the 9 and he's missed it. That was the problem. On a brand new table, that shot is really hard. You know, on a table where the cloth's a month or 2 old, you can really get that cue ball drawing, you know, underneath. You have to get that cue ball curving, so it has to be said, that is a big role for Team Europe.
And with ball in hand, if Ouschan doesn't clear up here, he would be inconsolable. It's unforgivable if he doesn't.
Well, if he doesn't clear up here, you might be doing the rest of this match on your own, mate. The drama continues. This 9 ball for a 3-2 lead to Albin. You just know there's a lot more pool left in this match.
It really is one of those evenings, one of those sessions where you can take nothing for granted. These are the world's best, but they have been prone to mistakes.
USA to break. Trailing by 3 racks to 2. .
It's only 3-2 this match. There's been a lot of drama so far, and it's only 3-2. And he's made the one ball, and this looks like he's going to sit up. Oh, it's out lovely for SVB there. He's got a nice shot here on the red 3, so this is a good chance to tie the match up.
At this level, in this kind of situation, you can mentally give someone a rack. But the way things have gone tonight, I'm loath to do so.
Yeah, we've seen Shane struggle with speed on a couple of shots, so the cue ball will be travelling here. That was a lot better though, that's pretty good. He doesn't look too happy with it, but I think when he comes round and he sees the shot from this end, he'll be okay with this. Shane's just getting the cue ball clean, making sure he doesn't get any bad contact on this 8 ball.
Extension called. Why did that stop?
This match is tied at 3-3.
Thank you.
And anyone's guess who is going to prevail, let me tell you. Best of 9 has been reduced to a best of 3.
The 7th rack.
He's played a big
you have
part.
to break.
So Albin will be
3
breaking
racks each.
in the 7th rack, and it's always nice if you can get on the hill and be the first person to the hill. Cue ball's being kicked. Can he chop this 2 ball in? I think he can, but it's thin.
And I always feel that when you're feeling it, you're under pressure, thin cuts of this nature are always one of the most difficult type of shots to pull off.
Well, I'll tell you what, Phil, I was terrible at these shots. I used to hit it really thick or completely miss it and give ball in hand. I just couldn't see the shot, but I think Albin is pretty good at these shots, you know. Certain players just seem to have the knack of this shot. Let's hope Albin's one of them. This is a big shot because all the balls are sat there. This is key shot coming up. He's played it nice. He needs a generous roll here. He needs a generous roll. Is that okay, Phil? Does the 3 pass? Can he play a combo?
The body language would suggest he's not too perturbed.
I think he can play the combo, and then the 3 ball will just roll down the rail just like that. That's pretty good. Well, it's really good. It's not pretty good, it's really good.
Extension called.
Now he does have an angle, but he's not going to get the cue ball too far over, because he would have to hit that really hard. So just make sure you pot the ball and give yourself a nice angle. He's looking up to the gods. He's got into the cue ball too much there. He's still all right, but he's ended up putting a bit of draw on that, so the cue ball's come a little higher. This is just a case of potting the ball. The cue ball will come off 2 rails back into the middle of the table. Well, he's gone off 3 rails. And I tell you what, that is lovely. Great shot. There you see Killer Filler sweating the action. Yeah, he's got a nice angle there. That couldn't have finished better. So a break and run couldn't have come at a better time for Albin Ouschan and Team Europe. He gets to the hill first with this 9-ball, of course, Phil.
Yes, he did leave one 9-ball hanging, but he's not going to miss this one, surely. Safely in, and Shane van Boening now has to win the next couple of racks.
4-1 or 3-2 overnight. One team will go to bed.
The 8th rack.
Really
USA
happy.
to break. Trailing 4-3.
And even if Van Boening does force a decider, it's Ouschan to break in that.
Wow, what a break this is. What a break at 4-3 down. He's made the one in the side, which is intended, so now we're seeing the players starting to figure the break shot out, and he's straight in on the 2-ball, so this is a wonderful opportunity for Hill.
And if it does go all the way, no one would be surprised. It's been a very competitive evening. The widest margin of victory. We've seen a couple of 5-2s. We've had one 5-3. The other singles went to the wire. 5-4 to Kaci over Chris Robinson. And now it really does look as though this is going the distance as well.
Yeah, it was a very generous split, but it's probably a fair result for this match to go Hill. Needs to make sure he gets this cue ball out and gets it high for the 7. Yeah, and he has done. The worst thing he could do there is land low. I know the cue ball's gone on the rail, but he would much prefer it there because he's got a natural angle just when he pockets this ball. The cue ball's coming down lovely for the 9-ball.
Shane van Boening does not miss 9 balls of this nature. Fittingly, unsurprisingly, as Shane van Boening exhales, it is 4 racks apiece.
So Shane broke from the other side. Albin usually breaks from the left, so I don't blame him for doing that. It's his favourable side. Needs a ball on the break. And he's not made a ball on the break. And Shane is on the 1 ball, and the balls are all open. There's no traffic, nothing's covering one another.
Cruel for Team Europe. Potential manna from heaven for the USA.
Of course, he's going to be feeling the heat. A little bit of a key shot coming up here. He needs to get nice on the 3 ball, because he's got to get from that red 3 up table for the pink 4. So he's going to be potting this and going just below the 8 ball off the right hand side rail and coming back over to kind of where he stood, that side of the table. Be happy with that. He's got an angle now. Well, he's having a smile, so he knows better than us. I think he's okay there, Phil, surely.
He's got room for manoeuvre, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, he can just pop this ball and kind of stun the cue ball up towards the middle of the table. This is key shot coming up now. If he gets the right angle on the green 6 after this shot, it's rack and match over. And it will be 3-2 overnight. Key shot coming up. Anywhere in the middle of the table off this shot would be good. Yeah, and that's fine. He'll be happy with that.
And this is where being in the pressure cooker so often in big money matches as an individual will stand him in really good stead.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Mosconi Cup. He knows the importance of this rack. I'm just wondering, is he going to stun this in and try and come below the 8 to play the 7 in the bottom left corner? He is playing that shot. I didn't know if he'd play it high. Yeah, that's perfect.
Just had the presence of mind there to take his extension, the extra 30 seconds, settle himself down.
He's held himself together well in this rack. Huge pressure. And this simple 9 ball. And day 1 will finish 3-2 to Europe. On reflection, probably a fair result.
For the Americans, everyone knows Shane van Boening is the big man on the Mosconi Cup campus. boy, did he deliver there. A masterclass from 4-3 down. Played beautifully in the last couple of racks. It is overnight 3-2 to Europe.